Hi y'all, today's DIY day video is an intro to raising baby chicks at home presented by the Dallas Public Library. If you've ever wanted to have backyard chickens, one way to start is by raising your own chicks. They're typically very affordable and easy to find, especially in the spring and summer months, at places like your local feed stores, hatcheries, or even by mail, though usually they require you to purchase a minimum quantity for shipping. Chick prices can vary and can be anywhere from $5 to $12 for specialty breeds. Raising chicks can be more affordable than buying grown chickens and can give you time to adjust to having chickens at home, plus they're adorable. Before buying, make sure to check your local city ordinances. Also assess how much yard space you have. Typically you need 2 to 3 square feet per chicken inside the coop and 8 to 10 feet outside. Chickens need plenty of space outside to be happy and healthy. Be sure to do your research on the different types of chicken breeds and what characteristics you would like. You want to look into things like size, temperament, egg laying. For example, I have 2 blue Cochin hens. They're considered a quite tame and friendly breed. They lay the majority of their eggs in the winter season and can grow up to weigh up to 8 pounds. Ask your seller plenty of questions. They have a lot of knowledge and can help guide your decisions. So now for the fun stuff. After you've done all your research and determined how many chicks you can take home, you'll also need a few things to raise happy and healthy chicks. You're going to need a large box with tall sides. That's going to serve as your brooder. I recommend tall sides because once they get to about 4 weeks, they will try to jump out. One of the most important things you'll need as well is a heat lamp, since chicks can't regulate their temperature until all of their feathers come in. You're also going to need chick feed or starter, a feeder, a water, and some sort of animal bedding. I prefer wood chips, but just make sure it's not cedar chips. The fragrance can hurt your chicks. Straw is also not recommended since it's not very absorbent and it can prevent your chicks' legs from developing correctly. So now that you have all of your supplies, we'll go over how to set up your brooder. First, you're going to lay about 2 to 3 inches of your bedding on the bottom of your box. This is optional, but I like to line the box with newspaper before adding in the wood chips. It just makes for an easier cleanup. I like to set up the feeder and the water into different sections of my brooder. Chicks like to peck and scratch, so they tend to be messy. Just chicken things. I also recommend you place your water on top of a small box or rock, just something to elevate it away from the bedding so it doesn't get dirty so quickly. It's also a good idea to place small rocks in the bottom of your container to prevent your chicks from accidentally drowning. When you set up your heat lamp, you want the temperature inside your brooder to be around 90 to 95 degrees for the first week. After the first week, you'll raise it up slightly each week so that by about 8 weeks, the temperature inside is around 70 degrees. By that time, most of your chicks' feathers should have come in. If the temperature outside is warmer than it is in your brooder, you can take your chicks outside. Just don't leave them unattended. You might also have to chase them around a bit to bring them inside. You'll also want to set the heat lamp on one end of the box instead of over the entire box. Essentially, you want to create hot and cool zones inside your brooder. So if your chicks feel too hot, they can just cool off on the other end of the box and vice versa. Pay attention to your chicks. If the brooder is too cold, they may all be huddling together, or if it's too hot, they may be panting and drowsy. Once your brooder is all set up, you want to make sure to clean it regularly. Change the bedding about once or twice a week, depending on how messy it's getting. Check and refill their food and water daily. You might also want to wash your feeder and your water once a week as well. You can also introduce treats like fruit or veggies for some variety. My chicks love watermelon and leafy greens. Your chicks will be in their brooder for roughly about 8 weeks or until they are fully feathered. I like to take my chicks outside to get some sun and some treats, and also so that they can take dust baths to clean up. If you can't take your chicks outside, you can set up a dust bath by putting a small box with some loose soil in their brooder. If your chicks seem to be getting bored or restless, you can add a mirror or a roosting bar, or throw in some weeds and grasses just to liven it up for them. I also recommend hand feeding and holding your chicks for short periods of time to get them used to being around people and to being held. Just make sure they don't get too cold. A few important reminders. Chicks are extremely cute. You're going to have a hard time resisting hugging or kissing them. But hygiene and safety is of the utmost importance. I recommend washing your hands before and after handling your chicks. Chicks can carry bacteria like salmonella, which is very serious. Also, make sure to set up your brooder away from areas where food is prepared. Chicks require as much care as any other pet, but the payoff is definitely worth it. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see your chick pics. You can tweet us at Dallas Library on Twitter or tag us on Instagram at Dallas Public Library.